Bluetooth earbud is connected. It is not. Alright, hold on. Is it connected now? No, of course it isn't. I am gonna start in just a minute. I'm gonna turn on this earbud right here in this ear so that the YouTube earbud gets connected, and hopefully anytime now it will just make the little beepy sound showing that it's connected. And it's right? Yes. Boom. Okay. Whew. All right, let's do this. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. Che, welcome back. It's good to see you. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, and to make the suffering that we're about to do on the floor a little bit more fun, a little less miserable, and just easier to come back and practice consistency. All right. So with that, I think it's time to get started. We're going to do some hip cars. This is our warm up. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to lift our knee as high as we can directly in front of us. Whew. From here, we're going to open up that leg to the side as wide as you can. Keep the knee high if you can. And then rotate the ankle up as high as you can. From the side, it's going to look a little like this. High knee, open, ankle up. All right, from here, I want you to keep going. Keep rotating ankle, 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 ankle. Oh, as high as you can. Your hamstrings might cramp, and if they cramp, you can bring them backwards. Whew. With your leg straight back behind you. I want you to flex your hamstrings. I want you to flex your glutes. I want you to feel the stretch here in your hip flexor, and that is 1 rep. We're going to do 10 of these on each leg, and then we'll be done with half of our warm-up. We're going to go in reverse and do them in reverse, and we're going to do 10 on each side as well. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Hold your hand out, grab something for balance if you need it. Stand, put all your weight into one leg, and let's begin. Keep that core nice and tight. High knee, open, ankle up some more, down and back. Whew, my hamstrings are cramping. Ooh, ooh. Should have drank more water. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 2 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 3 high knee. Open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's 4. Ooh, my hip just cracked. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 5. I'm going to spin around for a different angle so I can actually hold on to the wall this time. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 6 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 7 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 8 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 9. Last 1 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 10. Whew. That is our first warm-up exercise. And if you're feeling like your legs are a little beat up, they need a little bit more love, don't worry, we got more hip cars coming right up. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started on the other side. So turn it around. Let's go. Hold on to the wall if you need it for a little bit of balance support, and stand up straight. Flex your core. Let's go. High knee. Open. Ankle up some more. Bring that leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. Feel the stretch right here in the hip flexor, and we're going to keep going. That's 1. Open, ankle up, back. That's 2 high knee. Open, ankle up, back. That's 3 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 4 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 5 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 6 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 7 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 8 high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 9. We're going to do the last one facing you guys. High knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 10. Whew. Oh, that is our hip cars going forward. We're going to pause for a second. We're going to do a little dance, shake out those hips. We're going to get ready to do them in reverse. In reverse, the movements are basically the same, but because we go in reverse, the first thing that we do is bring that leg down and back. Because it's the first thing, we tend to get a little excited. We go 1, and then we kick the leg really far back. That's fun. That's fine. But I want you to be careful, because when we get super excited about kicking this leg back, we tend to put an arch into our low back right here. Right? This is neutral, and then this is putting a whole bunch of arch into your back. That after lots of reps. We'll get a little achy, might get a little bit sensitive, and we don't want you to be feeling not so good. All right. So to prevent that, I want you to keep the core nice and tight. We don't want to be torquing. All right. We want to keep the core nice and tight. That's it. That's all I got. All right. Let's go. Stand up straight. Keep that core tight. Hold on to the wall for balance, and let's go. We're starting by bringing this leg back. Flex the hamstrings. Flex the glutes. Feel the stretch right here in the hip flexor. Bring that leg back. Whew. Lift that leg up directly to the side, so it's horizontal. Then we're gonna rotate the ankle up. Rotate it all the way down, lift the knee high, and bring it forward. That is one rep. We're doing 10 of these on the left side, 10 of these on the right side. Let's go. Straight, up and down, core tight, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's one. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's two. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's three. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's four. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's five. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. Six. One more. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's seven. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. Eight. If you ever need to take a break in between, like I do right now, take a break. It's okay. We got plenty of time. Let's keep going. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. Nine. Last one. I should not have taken that break. I ended up being more tired afterwards than when I stopped. That is 10 reverse hip curls on this left hip, or it might look like it's my right one, depending on how, the different apps reflect the camera or whatever. We got one last tip. We're almost done. Take a couple of seconds to breathe. Chill. Sigh, and let's continue. Stick your hand out against the wall for balance. Stand up straight. Keep the core tight. Maybe put your hands behind your back like this just to make sure you notice whether or not you're torquing by accident. And let's begin. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's one. If you're just joining in, you're like, what the heck are we doing? These are called hip cars. Cars stands for controlled articulated rotations, and we're trying to use our leg muscles to force our leg into these crazy end range positions, the best, deepest position you can get into, so that you get stronger and more mobile at the same time. Ankle down, knee. That's five. We got five left. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's six. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. Seven. Three more. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. Eight. Two more. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. Nine. Last one. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 10. Oh man, those are our hip cars. If your legs are feeling tired, do a little wiggle, do a little dance, shake out the hips, shake out the legs, and breathe. We're gonna move on into warm-up exercise number two. All right. It's going to be a little bit more chill. It's a little bit more relaxed because warm-up exercise one is kind of intense. I want you to fold at your hips and bring your belly button down into the ground. Chill here for a second, especially if your low back is tight and you're feeling it all stretched out. Just chill and breathe. And while you're breathing, I'm going to tell you that we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every day at 9 p.m. and we do this every day to practice the number one quality, consistency. So if you like side splits, you like hip mobility, you like the idea of being consistent, keep hanging out and stretch. And also follow and subscribe. All right? From here, once your low back has relaxed a little bit, we're going to start bending and moving. We're going to move one knee, or we're going to bend one knee, and we're going to straighten out the other leg. From here, we're going to keep on switching and switching and switching and switching. And the whole time, I want you to focus on bringing your belly button down closer to the ground so you're feeling a really intense hamstring stretch. Okay? And just keep going. These are called the elephant walks. I don't know why an elephant would walk like this, but let's just presume that he does, or it does. Keep going. Nice and gentle.
Whew. And keep on folding forward. You should feel these in your hamstrings. You should also feel these maybe just underneath your glute muscles. That's because your hamstrings become tendons and your tendons become attached to the bottom of your pelvis. So if you're standing up straight, it's like way down here. It looks like it's like halfway through your thigh leg. But it's not. It's the bottom of your hips. And when you're folded forward like this, you're gonna feel it here because that's where the bottom of your hips are. Whew. The other place you're going to feel this is in your toesies. If they're a little tingly right now, oftentimes that sensation is the result of nerve flossing, nerve gliding, nerve stretching. All of those words are basically saying your nerves, which are physical things, right, are getting pulled and stretched a little bit inside your body. And that tingly sensation is your nerves know they're getting stretched. So they're letting you know they're getting stretched. And that, for the most part, is going to be okay. All right. Whew. Now that we've been here for a while, switching back and forth, I want you to focus on bringing that belly button down just a little bit more. Get back into that stretch. Go deeper. One, two, 3 more seconds. Three, two, one, and pop into a squat. Whew. Come back up into standing. Your hamstrings should be a little looser, but they might also feel very unhappy with you because you just put them through a lot. Whew. Do a little mini squat, bend at the knees, wiggle, shake, dance. And sigh out all the extra tension in your body. We're going to move on into our third and final warm up exercise as soon as I scratch my eye and it stops being super itchy. And it is called the Cossack switch. I'm going to demonstrate real quick. You don't have to hop in right away. I'll tell you when. All right. Cossack switch looks a little bit like this. We're getting into a deep squish down low position, as low as you can go. It doesn't have to be as low as I am, or you could be lower if you want, but the principle here is we're going to do a deep squat on one leg. We're basically doing a side split on the other leg. We're trying to get as deep as we can. All right. Again, we're going to adjust this for you in a little bit, but I'm showing you what we want it to eventually look like. From here, we're putting our hands down. We're helping scoot our butts over to the other side. We're getting to the other side, mirroring it, and we're going to try and squish and get compact, get as low as we can, and then we're going to come back. Whew, that. Going left, coming back right. That is 1 rep. For most of us, you're not going to be flexible enough to make that look very smooth. So what we're going to do is we're going to pre-stretch our ankles. We're going to pre-stretch our knees and our hips and all the muscles in between to help prepare us for that movement. All right. So what I want you to do is from your standing position, I want you to try and come into a deep squat. And if your heels come up off the ground, that is absolutely a-okay. In fact, I want you to pull your knees to your chest and I want you to lean forward so that your heels come up. I want your Achilles tendon to feel a stretch and I want your calves to feel a stretch. The way you tell is just by poking your leg, and if those muscles are really tense, they're probably getting stretched. All right? From here, chill, breathe, relax, and when you can, when you're feeling a little confident in this position, start to do a little wiggle and do a little dance. Shake out those hips, do a little fun jig. Move the knees in and out. Boom, 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 boom. Pose. I don't know who you'd be posing for in these squatty positions, but pose. Yeah, look cool. Wee. Anyways, that movement is to help work your hips, work your balance, prepare you for the Cossack switch that's coming up. All right. What I want you to do now that we've hung out here for a little bit is stick your hands straight into the ground. Nothing fancy. You're not going way forward. You're not going back. You're just going straight down into the ground. All right. From here, we're extending one leg out, and that heel is down. The toe is kind of just pointing up. It could be mostly relaxed, but if you had to flex your foot, your toe would be pointed up. All right. From here, we're gonna get this foot into position. What I want you to do is drop that heel down on the floor, and then I want you to try and get as low as you can on this leg. All right. If you can get super low, awesome. If you cannot, if you're stuck a little higher up, that's absolutely fine. It is part of the process, and we're training together to get deeper into the stretches. All right. So from here, what's our next step? The next step is we're boom, scooting our butt over to the other side. If you're higher up, it might be a little bit easier. It might be a little bit more straightforward. If you're lower down, you might need to put your hands down to help bring your hips over. When you're over on the other side, I want you to try to squish. And if you exhale while you try to squish,
And you release the tension in your lungs. That might help your muscles relax as well. That's it. That's everything. That's all you need to know. We're going to do 10 of these, going from left to right to left to right to left to right. And we're ready to begin. Heel down, stay low as you can. And let's go. One, over, and back. Whew. Ready? Two, over, squish, sink into that stretch, and back. Three, and back. Keep going. Four, and back. Five, and back. If you're feeling strong, you don't need to be using your hands. Great. Stop using your hands. If you are feeling extra strong, you're like, how can I make this stretch more difficult? How do I make this more exercise more difficult? You can try and sit up a little straighter. Try to imagine there's like a little tiny string shooting up into the air like you're Spider-Man, but from your head, and that is helping you extend your back nice and straight. That will put a whole bunch more pressure into your low back, and I think that's seven. Oh man, keep going. Across, squish, and back. Whew. Remember, this whole time you could absolutely 100% be using your hands. There's absolutely no reason for you to be suffering extra hard if you don't want to. All right. Last one. Come on back. Whew. And 10. Oh, that is our warm up. I did this whole entire thing in socks, and I do not recommend it. The socks have made it very slippery, and it made it so that all of my muscles had to work extra hard to keep me from sliding all over the place. I do not recommend. I'm never gonna do that again. All right, that was our warm up. I hope you're tired, but mostly I hope your hamstrings are looser, your hips are looser, your ankles, your knees, they are ready to do some moving because we're going to get into our show. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to work on building a little bit of community, and to make this suffering we're about to do a little bit more fun, a little bit more less suffery, and yeah, that. If you like consistency, if you like side splits, if you like hip mobility, you need to work on it a little bit. Feel free to stick around. We got a whole bunch more show left, and feel free to subscribe and follow because we do this every day, and you should definitely be here. All right, it's time. The first stretch that we're going to do is a hamstring stretch. I recommend you go grab a little bit of cushioning, some padding for your knee, because we're going to set it up with one knee on the ground and one leg extended in front of us. This does not have to be fancy. If you have a yoga mat, great. If you have an old towel, roll it up, stick it on your knee. Done. Slippers, flip flops under your knee. Perfect. Couch cushion, decorative pillow, your pet's bed. Boom. From here, once you get your toys, we're going to drop both our knees down into the ground. All right? Boom. Have your knees come together, touch, and take a look at what your hips are doing. I want your hips to be going straight down. I want them squared, like so. And I want you to maintain this for as long as possible. We're going to get into our stretch, all right? The first thing I want you to do is put one leg directly in front. I don't want you to start extending that leg way far out, and all of a sudden you find that this hip is way here, this side of the hip is way back there, you're all twisted up, and you're doing a front split, but you're all rotated. That is too much twisting, that's too much extra stuff. We're just focusing on the hamstring stretch, so pull that leg in back towards your belly button and this is where we're starting from. Okay? I'm going to spin around so that you can see the body a little bit better and not have to stare at the top of my head for the entirety of this stretch. And you don't have to move because I can't see you. From here, we're folding our belly button down into the ground. Okay? And I want you to breathe, relax. Try your best to fold deeper into the stretch. As you breathe, take nice and deep breaths to help yourself to relax. Whew. For the rest of the show, do not hold your breath. This is not going to help you relax. It's not going to help you get into a deeper stretch. Okay? So, don't hyperventilate. Don't go crazy breathing, but keep breathing. From here, we're going to take it up to the next level. We're going to do an inhale, exhale, fold. It is exactly as I've described it. We're going to take a big breath in, and then we're going to exhale and we're going to fold. Ah, when we fold,
The goal is to bring our belly button down a little bit lower to the ground. If my explanation was not good enough, even though the name of what we're doing literally says what we're going to do, take your time. Do the inhale, exhale, fold now. All right. From here, we're going to breathe. We're going to chill. We're going to do the same thing we were doing before, just trying to relax as many muscles as possible. Your toes, your feet, your calves, your glutes, your low back, just exhale and breathe, relax. We're gonna do one more inhale, exhale, fold. Y'all ready? You can't not be ready because I'm going. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Bring that belly button down deeper into the stretch. Breathe. Try to relax as many muscles as possible. And fold. I want to highlight something for you guys. If you're feeling a whole bunch of pressure in the back of your neck, in your upper back, in your mid back, because you're trying to smash your face into your knees, that is you working way too hard. The hamstring stretch comes from your hips folding forward. It does not come from your upper back folding forward or your neck touching your toes. That just stretches out your neck and that stretches out your upper back. That's not what we're working on. In fact, you probably don't need to work on that at all because we all slouch way too much. So you don't have to worry about that at all. All right? So if your back is rounded, it should be because you're chilling, you're relaxed, you're just flopping over that leg, letting gravity pull you down into the ground, not because you're trying to smash your face into your knee to get into deeper stretch. Okay? Whew! I forgot to start counting. So we're going to start at 20. All right? 20, 19, 18. Keep on breathing. Keep on folding forward and chill into that stretch. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. Keep on breathing. Keep on trying to relax your hamstrings, your calves, your toes, your feet, your glutes, your low back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, that's it. Bring your legs back in. Hamstring stretch is over. And sit back, relax for a second, and then get ready to do the other side. Let's go. Bring your knees down straight into the ground for a second. Look at what your hips are doing. Keep this the same and extend the other leg. From here, let's fold forward. We're trying to bring the belly button down towards the thigh. It's not coming from your upper back or your mid back or your neck. It's coming just from the hips. All right? Breathe. Try to relax into that stretch. Sigh out extra air. Make big, loud noises to help you sigh and do whatever it takes to relax. Relax your toes, relax your feet, relax your calves, relax your hamstrings, relax your glutes, relax your low back, and fold and drape that body over that straightened leg. From here, we're going to do the inhale, exhale, fold. All right? We're going to do that big breath in, inhale. Then we're going to slowly exhale and fold our body down into our leg. You ready? Let's go. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Your hamstring stretch is way deeper now, way more intense, and it is not nearly as pleasant as it was before. So keep breathing, keep relaxing. Try to let your hamstrings chill out. Sigh, relax. Relax toes, feet, calves, hamstrings, glutes, low back. We're gonna do one more inhale, exhale, fold. All right, let's go. Inhale, exhale, and fold. That's it. 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28. Keep breathing. Keep relaxing. 27, 26, 25, 24, 23. If you're feeling a whole bunch of pressure in your knees right now, it's getting a little achy, uncomfortable, you can give your knee a slight bend. When you bend your knee, you're going to take a whole bunch of stress off of your hamstring, and that will give you the ability to fold a little bit more forward and fold your chest down towards that knee. Once your chest is straight and flush with that knee, then you can refocus on trying to extend that knee, straighten it back out, and get that last little bit of hamstring stretch at the end so that your knee doesn't hurt the whole entire time, hurts right at the end. All right? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our hamstring stretch. Whew. Sit back, chill, relax. Sigh out as much extra air as you'd like. And we're going to get on into number two, stretch number two. The second stretch that we do is called the butterfly stretch. And I recommend you do this with your butt up against the wall. So, butt up against the wall, low back, shoulders, head, everything up against the wall. Experience nice posture for a second, and we're going to continue. When you're here, we're going to take our feet, we're going to bring them together. And you can pull up your pants so that they don't stretch out the knees as much. Once you've brought your feet together, we are going to pull them in towards our groin. The point of the butterfly is to stretch out the groin muscles. The way we do that is by bringing the knees down into the ground. I want you to get stronger whenever you're stretching with me, so I want you to use your muscles to pull your legs down into a deeper stretch. I want you to use your outer thigh muscles. I want you to use your glutes to go and pull your legs down. All right? If this is your first time joining, you haven't really figured out how those muscles work just yet, it's totally okay. Just focus on the sensation in the groin right here and see if it gets more intense when you start trying to do whatever you think you got to do to bring your knees down into the ground. Okay? Fold, fold, fold. Pull, 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 pull. Pull, 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 pull. Pull some more. And if you saw your knees go down just a little bit, if you feel the stretch in your groin getting more intense, you've done the right thing. Don't worry about it too much. Okay? From here, we're going to do the really intense stuff. All right. I want you to take your hands. I want you to put them just below your knee. I want you to push your legs into the ground. Breathe on the exhale. Push a little bit harder. And when you are here, you should be feeling a little bit of tension in the back of your head and in your shoulders. That's because you're using your body to push your legs down, but your shoulders are also pushing back into the wall. So if your head feels a little funky, that's normal. That's okay. 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. If you weren't flexing your glutes, if you weren't flexing your outer thigh muscles, flex them. Use those muscles to pull your knees down into the ground and then get some extra bonus help from your hands to bring your knees down. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. All right, relax all those other muscles. Forget I told you to stretch them at all. Just relax. Exhale, breathe. 12, 11, 10. Now push a little harder with your hands. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Oh, that's our butterfly stretch. Get rid of your hands. Not actually get rid of them, just take them away so that the pressure's no longer on your knees. Breathe, sigh, and shake out your wrists. Let them relax a little bit. Flop them around like little T-Rex hands. And then try to flap the wings of your butterfly. Bring your knees up and down. Oh, if your hips are feeling quite tired, like they're not working all that well right now, you can give your legs a gentle shake with your hands. That will help wake them up. And don't forget to do the other side. And when your legs are flapping around like a butterfly, you're ready to move on into stretch number three. Stretch number three is the pancake. And this requires your feet to have a lot of control. So if you got socks on and you got slippery floor, maybe take those off now. I'm getting rid of mine. I'm starting to warm up, so the floor isn't nearly as cold as when this show started, or it doesn't feel as cold as when the show started. I'm pretty sure the floor is just as cold as it was before. So, thankfully, I'm a little bit warmer now. All right, let's do this. We're getting to the pancake stretch. And the pancake looks a little bit like this. We're going to open up our legs nice and wide. If your hips are hurting right here, where your thigh bone meets your hip, you've gone too far. You're going to bring your legs back in a little bit.
And we're gonna fold forward. We're gonna bring the belly button down into the ground. All right, looks a little bit like this. Wee. From here, we're in our starting position. From the side, it looks a little bit like this. Ta-da! What we want to do in the pancake is to have our legs a little wider and to fold our head all the way in between our legs until this happens. We go whoosh, flat. It is a crazy hard stretch, and it is so impressive when people can do this. YouTube and the internet makes it seem like everybody can do this. It is so hard. And so we're going to do the version that helps make gravity work for us the bestest. The bestest. The best is already the most istest of the word. I don't know why I have bestest. All right. Anyways, doesn't matter. We are folding forward, and we want to get our upper body as horizontal, as close to horizontal as possible. That is when you'll feel the most effect from gravity on that hip, and it will help you fold the most forward. Okay? That's the gist of it. If you want to make it more difficult, you want to make it harder because you want gravity to really work for you, you can increase the length of that lever, aka stick your arms out way past your head, have your biceps by your ears, and let gravity pull you down some more. That should feel way different and way more intense. If you're a masochist and you want to go a little bit deeper, you can hold something in your hands. I recommend you start with something rather light, like a pound or two, a dumbbell, if you have it. If you don't, maybe a water bottle, something nice and gentle. If you're going down to like the half-gallon Yeti bottles, then you're like way deep into really heavy. Don't start there. Start easy and then progress. Okay. From here, we're ready. That's it. That's everything. That's the pancake. You can widen your feet if you'd like to get into a slightly deeper position, and we're ready to begin. Fold that belly button down. Fold, 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 fold. Extend your arms if you want to suffer. Hold on to something and extend your arms if you want to suffer some more. And if your face feels like it's too close to the floor, like you're gonna hurt yourself, stick your butt back, and that's it. That's actually it. Now we're done. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27. 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. Keep breathing. Do not hold your breath. 19, 18. Keep on imagining your belly button getting closer to the floor. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Put your heads down. That is our pancake. If your legs are feeling like they're completely stuck and you can't move right now, I recommend that you start wiggling your toes in, and then your heels in, and then your toes in, and then your heels in, and then your toes in, and then your heels in, and slowly bring your legs together. And when your legs are together-ish, I want you to pop into a little bit of a squat. Hold on to your knees if you need to. And slowly come back into standing. Wow. Oh, man. That is our pancake. You should be feeling it in a whole bunch of different places. Maybe you're feeling it in your glutes. Maybe you're feeling it in your hamstrings because we were folding forward and that's a hamstring stretch. Maybe you're feeling it in your inner thighs because your legs are super wide open. When you bring your legs out, this muscle, the adductors, it's spelled ADDUCTOR, is getting stretched. But when we hang out here in this position and we just start folding and stretching and pushing ourselves, that muscle also contracts to hold us in position to keep us from falling. So you're contracting a stretched out muscle, and that hurts. So that's probably why you're suffering and you're limping around like a drunk penguin right now. All right? We're going to move on to something a little bit more chill, something a little bit easier so you can recover from that stretch. We're going to move on into stretch number 4, and it is, I believe, the pigeon stretch. I'm pretty sure we did figure 4 last night. So I'm pretty sure we did figure 4 last night. We're doing the pigeon stretch. So both stretches look a little bit like this. We're taking the leg, we're crossing it across the other knee, and we are lifting that leg up towards our belly button. We're folding our belly button towards that leg until we're in this position. From the side, it's going to look a little bit like this. You're stretching out this side of your hip. It's technically a glute muscle. You might also feel it a little bit in the underside of that leg and in the hamstrings. And you might be feeling a little tension when you're folding forward into that hip. All right. We got the option between the figure four and the pigeon. If you're a regular, you already know which one you prefer. Go ahead and jump into that. I'm going to be demonstrating the pigeon on the floor right now. For the pigeon, we're going to get down on the ground. We're going to try our best to sit on top of that leg. The leg that we're stretching is resting so that the knee to ankle is running across our body in front of us. And what we're trying to do is rest the midpoint of our body, so this middle line, down on that middle line between your knee and your ankle. All right, so this right here, up and down, we're going to try and aim for this right here.
Whee! And fold forward. That's it.
That's the pigeon. That's our starting position. If you've seen some yoga videos and you're like, that's not a pigeon, don't you like stick the leg backwards or something? Yes, there are other versions of the pigeon, and we can make this a little bit more difficult if you'd like. It is completely up to you if you want to make it more difficult. But let's talk about how we do that leg thing. Our leg is still running across our body, right? We're still trying to get into that middle line. And if you lean forward enough, it might be doable for you to stick your other leg back behind. This gets you into a hip extension, gets you into a stretch right here in the hip flexor, right? The straighter and taller you try to sit, the more stretch you'll feel here and the harder it will be. If you lean really far forward and the line is almost straight back, it'll be much less stressful and it'll be a little bit easier to get into that position. Alternatively, you can elevate that front leg, and when you do, unless you have crazy, crazy hip flexibility, your hips will come up higher off the ground. When they're higher off the ground, this leg has way more room to be underneath you. It's going to be a little bit easier for you to get into that pigeon stretch. All right, that's it. Those are all our tips. Let's go. We're doing some pigeon. Leg running across your body, folding the midpoint of the chest down to the midpoint of the leg. Extending the other leg back behind us if you want. And we're going to breathe. We're going to exhale a lot of air. Feel that stretch in your side of the glute, side of the hip thing, and breathe some more. Let all the air out of your lungs. Fold. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. I talked about that midline, and that is a really good starting point, but you can feel free to experiment. If you want to bring your chest at the center of the chest is basically where the foot is, and you're going to swing way over there, go for it. See how that feels. If you want to do the opposite, you want to bring that chest over to the knee and see how that feels, go for it. Hang out, relax, breathe. Every breath you take on that exhale, see if you can bring your belly button down just a little bit lower. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. It feels like it's really easy for some reason. If you push your foot towards your face, like you push it up, it's going to get way harder. 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, that is pigeon number one. What's pigeon number two, you ask? We just got to do the other side. Swing that leg around, and let's get ready to go. Oh, man, my hips are tired. Oh, leg is coming across the body. Chest is folding down, so the middle of that leg between the knee and the ankle is where you're trying to rest the midpoint of your chest, right? Let me spin that around and show it again. Midpoint between the knee and the ankle, right here. We're trying to bring our chest down to that point. Whee! Until you feel the stretch. All right? Back leg does whatever back leg wants, or I guess whatever you want for your back leg. And sigh. Exhale as much air as you want, as many times as you want. Just don't hyperventilate. And relax. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25,
Every time you take a breath on the exhale, see if you can drop that belly button a little lower. 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17. We really want to feel the stretch out here in the side of that hip, in this glute muscle right here. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, that that is our pigeon stretch. Oh, bring your leg in. The pigeon stretch is one of those stretches where gravity does almost all of the work, and your job is just to breathe and flop into it and relax. So, if you have the space for it, if you have the right setup, and you can just jump into it randomly, feel free to spend more time in the pigeon stretch. It's one of those stretches that as soon as you've done a couple of minutes of it, you'll be like, whoa, that's nice. And so, for that reason, you should do as many of it as you can. All right. We're going to move on. We're going to get into our fifth and final stretch. The fifth and final stretch that we're doing is called the side splits. If you've never done one before, don't worry. I'm going to go through it, break it down into little pieces, make it simple, and we can get into however deep that you can get into together. Okay? And I think this is probably a good time to tell you that we're doing 3 rounds of 30 seconds of the side splits. Everything we've done before this has been 1 round of 30 seconds and we moved right on. But the side splits, the big focus of our show, we're doing a little bit more. In between each of those rounds, we're going to shake out our legs. We're going to get relaxed. We're going to try and loosen up all our muscles so that we can get into deeper second side split and a deeper third side split. So if you're ready, come on back into standing. Let's talk about safety. Whew, my knees are achy. What I want you to do is I want you to stand 8 to 12 inches in front of a wall. Okay? For most people, that's about 1.5 footsteps in front of the wall. The reason why we're standing here is because I want you to not fall on your butt. All right? When we're doing the side split, we tend to get into a position that looks like this. Our legs are kind of wide, our hands are on the ground, we're shaking, we're wiggling, we're squirming, we're trying to get into a deeper stretch. And sometimes you start leaning a little too far back, and all of a sudden you're swimming. You're like, oh, snap, I'm going to fall, I'm going to fall, I'm going to fall. And then you fall. But if you're standing in front of the wall, your butt will just rest up against the wall and everything will be fine. If you were to do this same exact movement without the wall right behind you, you'd be like, oh, I'm stretching, everything's cool, and then all of a sudden you'd be like, oh, I'm falling, and oh, you might start falling really far backwards. So don't let that happen. Stand 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall, and we're ready to begin. Oh, oh, oh. Time to dust off the pants, and we're ready to start. We're going into some side splits. All right. What I want you to do is I want you to open up your legs nice and wide. If you're starting to feel pain here in the hips, you've gone too far. Bring your legs back in, just a little bit. From here, we're folding our belly buttons down into the ground. Fold, 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 fold some more. And if this looks just like the pancake, that's because it's the exact same so far. From here, see if you can widen out your legs just a little bit further, and for that to still be more or less comfortable. When you're folded forward, your hips should be allowing you to get into a wider stance without that hip pain that we were talking about earlier. Okay? So, when you're here, try to put your hands down on the ground. If you cannot reach the ground or if you don't find it very comfortable, you can absolutely use something to elevate your hands. I got yoga blocks you can use to elevate your hands. We've also got a stool here that you can use to elevate your hands. All right. So go take a second, grab something if you need it. If you don't, we're ready to continue. From here, we are going to rotate our legs 90 degrees backwards. Okay? And what I mean by that is I want you to notice that your feet are flat on the ground and your knees are pointing towards you guys, towards the camera. All right? What I want you to do is I want you to rotate that leg back so that the heel is down, the toes are up, and the knees are pointing up. When you do this, you're going to put a whole bunch of pressure on that heel, on both heels, because we're going to do both legs. But we're going to be ready to do some side splits. So grab that stool back if you need it. Overcome your dog stealing your socks if you can. And
Let's go. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are pointing up. Doggo, we gotta demonstrate the feet doing things. I need you to move. I'm not gonna pet you. Oh, okay. He's ready for pets. Good doggo. Everybody, give a round of applause to doggo. He can't hear the applause. He won't even know the difference. But I will. I'll emotion. Okay. Anyways, back to the splits. Your heels are down, your toes are up, your knees are pointing up. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are pointing up on both sides. If this is the deepest that you can go, just starting is already maxed out, you can stop right here. You don't have to go any deeper. All right. If you're feeling excited, you're feeling like you're up for a challenge, you want to go a little bit deeper in your stretch, feel free to do a little wiggle from side to side. Take a little twist to the left, a little squeeze to the right, and see if you can push your leg out just a little bit more. Whew. And then walk your hands back towards your hips. If you're really close to the wall, like I asked you to be, you might be able to rest your butt against the wall right now. And that's great. Rest your butt there. From here, feeling that nice little bit of support, breathe, relax. As long as your knees are pointing up and your head is also, the top of your head is also pointing up, we're in the side split position. And the only thing holding us back is the length of our muscles. And you can relax everything else. Your calves can relax, your toes can relax, your hamstrings, if those were relaxed, can relax. You can relax your glutes, you can relax your low back. Breathe. Exhale. And that's it. We're here. 30 seconds. Let's go. Holding it for 30. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17. If you're still feeling a little pinchiness in the hip, keep on trying to rotate the leg backwards just a little bit more, and that should help. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, we're done. Walk your hands forward. Oh, pull your body in behind you. Oh, and that is our first side split. I kind of mentioned this right at the very beginning. If there was a point where you got stuck and you couldn't go any further, you could have totally stopped higher up. The same instructions apply, and they'll keep applying until you all the way get as deep as the floor. So the same instructions all the way through. All right. Oh man, that was our first side split. Now that your hips, your legs, and everything feels fried, we're going to shake out everything, help them relax, and hopefully, relax everything enough to get into a deeper second side split. So when you can, come back into standing. If you're flopping around, you're like struggling to balance, and you look like a drunk penguin, that is okay. We'll fix that in just a second. Stand, try to put most of your weight into one leg. And then I want you to shake out the ankle of the other leg. All right? Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. This doesn't have to be super aggressive. You can just be nice and gentle on the ground. What I want you to focus on is your foot going back and forth, your foot going side to side, your foot going in circles without you using your muscles to actively do it, right? I want you to be shaking your leg like this and then have your ankle flop around, just like you can flop around your wrist. All right? Do that for a little bit and keep doing it some more. Whew. The reason why we're doing this is because we want to focus on relaxing our leg muscles. Everything above the ankle, your calves, your tibialis, all these muscles help to move your ankle, right? And when your ankles are flopping around like this and going crazy and going all over the place real fast, all those muscles going right above are also going to be relaxed. No matter where you're at right now, switch over to the other side and keep going. Shake out that ankle. Shake, 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 shake. Flick, 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 flick. Wobble, 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 wobble. Shake, 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 shake. Woo! Hopefully, after a couple of seconds of that, you've noticed you didn't do very much. You just shook out your leg and you went, and all of a sudden, hopefully, your legs are feeling a little bit stronger, feeling a little bit more stable. Okay? From here, we're going to work on our hips a little bit. I want you to stand, put your foot down, and put the big toe of your other foot down while keeping your knee bent a little bit. I want you to rotate that knee in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out. It should look a little bit like a dance move. If you want to turn it into a stanky leg and just go wee, oh man, stanky leg, add it in, make it fun. Other side, all your weight is in one leg, big toe is down on the other. We're rotating the knee out, in, out, in, out. Notice the rest of the body is not moving. The main thing that's moving is right here in the hip. This thigh bone, where it connects into your hips, is the only thing that's really moving. Okay, and we're using our muscles in the hip to do it. Internal, external, internal, external, internal, external, inside, outside, inside, outside. Stanky leg. We're doing a whole bunch of hip mobility stuff. The least you can do is put it to work and make it fun. And so, if you want to, add them in. In fact, you can do both legs at the same time. You can do some more dance moves, all right? Now that your hips are loosened up, your legs are loosened up, we're ready for side split number 2. So, let's do this. Stand 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall. Get ready to get into your second side split. Open up those legs nice and wide. Breathe, chill for a second. And if you find that your hips are hurting right here, you've gone too far, you're going to bring your legs in just a little bit. From here, we're ready to fold. We're going to bring this belly button down into the ground. Fold, 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 fold. Fold, fold, fold. Fold, fold, fold. Fold, fold, fold. And see if you can put your hands down on the ground. Okay? If you cannot reach the ground, or if you just don't want to, because you have to fold really far forward and it's uncomfortable, feel free to elevate your hands. From here, we are ready to do the most important part of this whole entire show. We got to rotate the legs so that the thigh bone does not smash into your hip bone so that you can get into a side split. All right? What we're doing is, with our hands down for support, we're going to rotate our legs so that the heel is down, the toes are up, the knees are pointing up. And we're going to do the other side. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are pointing up. The dog moved perfectly out of the way for that moment. All right. From here, take your time. Try to get into a deeper stretch. Do a little wiggle from side to side. And sink into it. Wiggle to the left, wiggle to the right, wiggle some more, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And you can keep your weight on the stool, on the chair, on the blocks the whole time if you'd like. You can get rid of it if you feel like you can get your hands down low enough. If you are feeling stuck, you can stop at any point. You don't have to keep pushing further. And what we're going to do is basically chill here. We're ready to go. 30 seconds. Let's do it. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. If you walk your hands a little bit more forward so that your chest feels like it's pretty parallel to the floor, you're going to feel more of a stretch in your inner thigh muscles, and those muscles are very important for your side splits. So definitely spend some time here. All right? 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. If you can, you can try to do another wiggle from side to side so you can push your legs out just a little bit further. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, walk your heads forward. We're done. Oh, pull your legs in underneath you. The further forward you walk, the easier it will be to pull your legs in because your legs are just going limp behind you, and then as you drag yourself forward, they'll come together. Oh, that was our second side split. Take a breath, chill for a second. We're going to get up into our second leg shaky, shaky, relaxing thing. All right, let's go. Come up, waddle around like a drunk penguin for half a second, and let's begin. Put all your weight into one leg, shake out the ankle. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. We want the ankle to be flopping around, going all over the place, and we want them relaxed. That's because all the muscles above your ankle have to be relaxed for your ankle to actually be doing crazy things like this. All right? Otherwise, you'd be like forward, back, side, 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 side. That's not what we're doing. We're flopping it all over the place. All right? Other leg. Let's go. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. And that should be pretty good. Whew. Let's go. We're gonna move up and do a little bit in the hips. Put all your weight into one leg, big toe, the other foot down on the ground. We're gonna rotate the knee in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. We're working some of those hip muscles, getting a lot of control for how to manipulate this leg, I guess. But most importantly is what happens when you get this to a really high level. You can start straightening out your leg. You can start flapping your leg back and forth a little faster, a little bit more intensely. You might not have to go as wide open, as wide or as deep in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. You can take it chill a little bit more. And then at some point, when you're relaxing your leg muscles, but still rotating your quads and the rest of your leg, start flopping around like this, and your leg turns into something that looks a little bit more jello-y. And that's what we want, that relaxation. Whew. Other side. All your weight is in one leg, big toe is down. We're working on building up some strength and control in the hip muscles first, rotating in, out, in, out, in, out. As you get more comfortable with this, you can straighten out the leg. You can shake out the heel a little bit more. Shake, 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 till it looks like your legs have turned into jello. And that is how we're shaking out the legs. If you're not quite there, you haven't quite figured out how to relax the muscles, it's still a little heavy and you're a little slow at it, that's okay. Take some time to build up the skills. Take some time to figure out how to force yourself to relax because it's confusing, right? You're like trying to relax, but you're trying to force it to happen. So take your time. Don't worry about it if it doesn't happen in one night. And also, of course, don't forget to dance. Do that stanky leg on both sides and bring your knees in and out and in and out and in and out and have fun with it. All right. We're doing a whole bunch of hip mobility stuff. Put that hip mobility to work. Make it fun. Make it entertaining. Because at the end of the day, this is about consistency. If it's not fun, if you hate it, it's gonna be awful. So make it fun. All right. We're gonna move on into our third and final side split. There are some really bright lights over here to keep this room lit for this show, and my eyes are getting super tired looking at the lights. So if it looks like my eyes are ever closing, I don't know if you can even tell because I'm so far away from the camera. That's why. It's not because I'm actually falling asleep, I promise. All right, let's continue. We're taking half a step, sorry, 8 inches to 12 inches in front of the wall. It's a step and a half for most people. And we're opening up our legs. We're dropping into that side split. Whew. Breathe. And if you are feeling a whole bunch of tension here in your hips, you've gone too far. Bring your legs back together just a little bit, and you're ready to continue. Fold forward, bring that belly button down into the ground. Stick your hands down if you can. If you cannot, or if you don't want to, you can stick your hands onto something a little bit higher to make it easy on yourself. All right? When you're in this position, you can probably go into a slightly wider side split position. That's because when your hips are folded forward, you have a little bit more room available before your hips start hurting. If you were standing straight up, they would start hurting a little bit earlier, right? But because we're folded forward, it should be a little bit more chill. You can get a little bit deeper. If you can't get any deeper, it's okay. I'm just telling you that it might work. All right. From here, we're gonna rotate the thigh bones to officially get those bones out of the way to officially put us in the side split. We are rotating this leg back 90 degrees. So we're going from feet flat on the ground to heel down, knees up, toes up, and we're doing both sides. Heels down, toes up, knees up, and we're in our side splits. Do a little wiggle from side to side. Lean to the right, push that leg out. Lean to the left, push that leg out. Lean to the right, push that leg out. Lean to the left, push that leg out. Keep on sitting into your side split. Breathe. Now that your legs are rotated and pointing in the right direction, you don't have to be flexing those muscles anymore. Relax your feet, relax your toes, relax your hamstrings, relax your calves, relax your glutes. Sit back if you can into that wall. Rest your butt against the wall and chill. 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. If you walk your hands forward, you're going to feel more of a stretch in your inner thighs. That is the side split stretch. What we were doing before against the wall is more of a hamstring stretch, and it's a little bit different. You need both for your side splits.
But spend some time focused on that inner thigh stretch. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. We're done. Walk your hands forward. Oh, pull your legs in underneath you. Oh, the way the side splits go, the longer you do them, the easier it is to get into a slightly deeper neck stretch, but the harder it is to get out of them. So if you're feeling that right now in your hips, don't worry, we're all on the same page. Breathe, chill, relax, and when you can, come back into standing. We're gonna shake our legs one last time. Oh, oh. Shake, 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 shake out that ankle, and relax, relax those muscles. Shake, 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 shake. Other side. Shake, 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 shake. I want you to imagine that you are an overcooked piece of spaghetti. You're just flopping and loose and that's what we want. From here, we're gonna get into our hip stuff. All right. All your weight is in one leg. Big toe is down on the ground. We're rotating the leg in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out. As you get more comfortable, you have more control. You can straighten out the leg a little bit more. Keep leaning into that power leg and shake the other leg out. Shake, 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 shake. Turn that leg into jello and keep going. Do the same on the other side. Shake, 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 shake. Again, you don't have to get there today. You don't have to get there fast. Focus on having control of those muscles. Those are the same exact muscles that rotate your knee in out and in and out and in and out and in and out. As you get more comfortable, as you gain more control, you can pick up the speed, you can pick up the intensity, and eventually you can get to a situation where your leg looks like it's made of jello and it's flopping all over the place, and your quads get really loose when you shake them out. Cool? And of course, you cannot forget to add in some stanky leg. All right? That, my friends, is our live. We just wrapped up, I don't know how many minutes we've done. We just wrapped up 63 minutes, oh man, of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day at 9 p.m. to practice the number one quality, consistency, and to build a little bit of community and to make the suffering that we do on the floor a little bit more fun, a little less just suffering by itself for the sake of suffering. And hopefully, all three of those things, practicing consistency, building a little community, suffering together with other people, makes it a little bit more interesting for you to keep coming back and practicing consistency so that we can both build a whole bunch more mobility in our hips, get our side splits, and just generally move a little bit better. If you like the live, make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe. If you haven't decided if you liked it or not, you had like 60 minutes of the live to decide. But if you still can't decide, you can just come back tomorrow. We're live every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern, and you can come back and try it again. All right? Whew. We are going to wrap up with one last thing because I forgot. We're going to do a couple of quick joint checks. Joint checks look a little bit like this. We're just going to make sure everything that's supposed to be moving is moving, and we'll be ready to wrap. What I want you to do is hip circles. Like you are trying to figure out what part of your hip is stiff. Just slowly work your way through that full range of motion. When you're folding forward, it might look a little bit like this. You're folding at the hips. When you're leaning off to the side, it might look a little bit like this. When you're leaning forward, it might look a little bit like this. And just see what feels tight. Once you've done a couple of loops, you might notice the sides of your hips are a little bit tight from those side splits. Great. Spend a little bit of time there. Lean into it, relax, and do the other side. If your low back is just perpetually achy, feel free to lean forward and relax those muscles. Okay? From here, we're going to do a quick high knee. Knee raise, and then if those went up just fine, we're ready to move on. We're going to do a quick squat with some calf raises inside. All right? What I want you to do is try your very best to do a deep-ish squat where you bring your chest to your knees. Okay? Give me a second. The microphones will sound weird because I'm adjusting them so they don't fall out of my ear during this. And from here, I want you to try to push your knees forward past your toes. Okay? When you're doing this, you should feel a whole bunch of tension, a whole bunch of pressure in your toes. They're trying to grip the ground to keep you from falling forward. And that is what we want. We want them to be working hard right now. When your toes are working hard, the arch of your foot should also be rounding so that you can help grip your feet into the ground. And your Achilles tendon should be feeling a crazy stretch. Your calves is probably really firm. You can poke them to double check. And your quads are probably really tired of being in this position and they want to stop. So let's move on. You can put your hands down real quick and then help support yourself while you do a couple of calf raises. You might not need to put your hands down while you do calf raises, but do a couple of calf raises. And when your calves are tired, your feet have given up, we're ready to wrap. What we just did was force our toes to work together with the arch of our foot, stretch out the Achilles tendon, stretch out the calves, force the knees to get into this deep, pushed forward, extended, stretched out position, and then have our hips and low back work together while we figured out how to do some calf raises from that squat position. So, if you were able to pull off most of those, you're able to do that pretty well. You know all those joints and all those muscles and all those tendons are working well together. All right? That's a good sign that you're ready to go do whatever else you got to do for today. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in, practicing consistency with me, and working on your side splits and your hip mobility. I'm ready to wrap up, and the way I wrap up is by reading the chat, interacting, and hanging out and answering questions. So feel free to send those into the chat. How did this sock get back? I thought I threw it away. Let's go. Whew. Oh. Where we at? Over on YouTube, Queen RR as well says hello, welcome back, happy Monday, happy Monday, and CSP5XE, hey, welcome back. It's been a while. Ask if I'm Korean. I am not Korean. Um, and what is going on? This is the imaginary friends pose. I don't know what that means, but cool. I'm glad your imaginary friend has really strong poses. That's awesome. Oh, hey, look, I got a teddy bear on my shoulder, and it's gone. All right, I'm gonna scroll over on YouTube and see what is going on. Swigline asks, my sister wanted to know if you have anything for the back. What is it that you want to be able to do with your back? Let me know, and I'll get back to you as that comes in. In the meantime, I'm gonna scroll up and see what else we got to answer. Travel Deroxy answer some questions, and Kat G has joined the fan club for 1 month. That's awesome. W Mod, thank you so much. Oh, Travel Deroxy, being awesome. Thank you. The recording of this live will be on YouTube on his channel, Splits on Side. Yes, absolutely. I have a YouTube channel and I have a TikTok. In fact, there is a YouTube live right here, and there's a TikTok live right here going on. We got two mobile phones recording, and all of the YouTube lives get recorded and stuck up onto YouTube. So if you want to, you can watch them. They'll look slightly different than what you remember on TikTok because the angle is slightly different, and I'll be looking at a different camera. But otherwise, they're all the same. And there will be no record of the chat because TikTok and YouTube doesn't save TikTok's chat if you're on TikTok. I think on YouTube the chat might be saved now. I'm pretty sure I turned it off, but some weird glitch is going on with YouTube stuff where the chat gets saved and is replayable. So if you like that, that's what's happening right now. Okay. And the YouTube channel is called at Splits on the Side, as Travel with Roxy has stated in the chat. So I appreciate it. Queen Malupa asked the question. Let me scroll up and check what she wrote. So I just hop in the live, wasn't able to get everything. I go back over this routine. Yes, you absolutely can go into the YouTube videos to rewatch any portion that you want. But for the most part, you can also just skip it for the day if you miss something and just come back tomorrow. It's not that important that you do every single thing every single day. It's more important that you practice the idea of consistency. All right, especially if you're sore, if you're feeling a little achy, if you're feeling not so great, is perfectly acceptable. It's totally good if you dial it back, take it a little bit more chill, skip a day if you need to, and that is absolutely that's fine. That makes sense. All right, I care a lot about consistency because I know it's going to make all the difference for me to continue to make progress. And so the show is designed
so that we can do a little bit every day. Keep it very similar so you don't have to work your brain super hard every single day. Try to make it fun and entertaining so that you can come in and be a little bit more motivated to finish. And uh, that's the intention, but that doesn't have to be how you treat the life every single day, right? As long as you're not missing one day and then quitting, you're good. You're fine. If you're just missing one day because you need a day to recover, that is absolutely fine. So if you missed a couple of exercises at the beginning, you don't have to play catch up if you don't want to. All right. Don't feel pressured like you have to be perfect in some way. Okay. Alyssa says, amazing for runners. You are the man. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. Cat Jesus, thank you, Ken. And Queen Malupa asks, show me for my back and neck exercises, please. This is a side splits focused show, and we do a little bit of hip mobility because that's part of doing the side splits. But I can talk about some neck and back stuff right now if you like. Neck and back exercises. Let's talk about neck mobility first, and then I'll talk about neck exercises. And this is important because I want you to know how the neck is supposed to work, and then how you might want to train your neck. Your neck is very mobile and can do a lot of things, right? You can rotate your face sort of to the side. That comes a little bit from your neck muscles, right? And your neck bones. You can usually take this ear and, or, how should I say this? You can usually lift that chin up to the side quite a bit. And you should usually be able to bring that neck back far enough so that you can see slightly behind the top of your head, right? You should also be able to touch your chin down to your chest. And you should also be able to look directly to the right and directly to the left. So your neck is designed to be very mobile. And I imagine for most of us, we're not doing very much to keep it mobile because what do you need to for? Everything's just straight in front of you, right? So I get it, but that's what your neck is supposed to be able to do. Um, for neck exercises, I kind of want to know why you're doing neck exercises because that will impact how you're going to do them. But oftentimes when I get asked for neck stuff, it's usually to stretch out the neck. I'm gonna tangent into neck stretching because this applies to everybody and is useful for everybody. One of the greatest ways to neck stretch is to sit in a chair and lean to the side. I recommend you sit down on something and stick your hand underneath that seat. And if you want to stretch out this side of your neck, for example, just lean away from that side and slightly pull on your head, and you can probably see the ginormous like line right here, which is the muscles in the neck and the shoulders getting stretched. If you use this hand to hold it in place, and this is anchored, and then you're pulling this away, that will get you a nice stretch right here. Okay? Same thing applies for the other side. Boom. Same thing applies if you want to pull your neck down and forward to help stretch out the muscles here in the back of the neck. It's a little bit harder to stretch out the front of the neck in that same way, so maybe don't do that. And then you can do the same for slightly just rotating the neck left and right. It's not just the lean and pull, it's the lifting of the chin up sideways. Be gentle, take your time. Don't try to force anything. Your neck muscles, your neck joints are rather fragile, but they're also capable of very much. So if you get really strong and get very mobile, you'll be able to do lots of crazy things. One really crazy thing that certain sports do, like wrestlers do, is they use the floor to build neck strength. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this with my glasses on, but when I used to wrestle, we used to do neck strengthening exercises that looked a little bit like this. We were rolling on the top and the front of our heads, and that forced us to strain our necks real hard to keep them nice and strong and stable. And we do the same thing over on the backside. Ugh. We would get into a tiny back bridge, and we'd hold that bridge up with our neck muscles. So you can do a gentle roll from here. But that's
That is way more strength than any normal person needs, and that is way more than anybody needs to be doing. So, uh, what do you exactly need your neck strength for? All right. While I wait for that to get answered, I'm gonna scroll down real quick. Debbie says, "Hello, Ken." Hey, Debbie, welcome back. I'm scrolling back up, seeing if one of the questions I asked got answered by the person asking. Swigline says, "In oh, okay, particularly in the thoracic region," she says, less tight. Oh, okay, less tight. Great, we can do that. Haru O asks, "What's your YouTube?" The YouTube is at splits on the side, so it's the same username as on TikTok. You just throw it over on YouTube, and that should work. Cool. Um, So we want thoracic loosening for Swigline, and we talked about neck muscles. So let's talk about the back. All right. For the back, we are trying to loosen the thoracic spine. Okay, cool. We'll do the same thing, same format for the thoracic spine as we did for the neck, and we're going to demonstrate what the thoracic spine should be capable of. All right. The thoracic spine, for you guys who don't know, is everything under your neck and above your low back. It's basically like the bottom of your ribs up to your neck. And I think it's 12 joints. I might be wrong. Don't fact check me on it. Actually, fact check me and tell me if I'm wrong. But those joints take up half the number of joints in your spine. So it's a lot of them, and they're designed particularly well to move. So you should be able to fold almost to the right. You should be able to do the same on the left. You should be able to round your back and roll into something like so. And you should be able to arch your back and come into a back bridge. I can't do that particularly well. I have an old back injury that does not like it when I do that. So I'm not going to demonstrate. And finally, your back is designed to rotate, right? Those are the main things that your back should be able to do. And as we age, as we get through multiple injuries, as we get weaker and weaker, lots of that mobility goes away. In our show, we do the thoracic rotations, right? Which, if you're standing, basically is this rotating your whole entire upper body. Since we've already covered that in the show, I won't get into more thoracic rotation. We're going to talk about all the other stuff. All right. For your forward foldingness of the spine, is this how I want to do this? Yeah, okay, fine. We can very slowly round the back with no additional weight. I'm holding my head just to because I don't know what else to do with my hand. You don't have to. You can just point your hands down and reach forward. Just focus on getting each vertebrae to as slowly as possible, one joint at a time, to round and fold. At some point, you'll hit the mid back, you'll hit the low back, and that whole low back doesn't actually move that much, so the whole thing will just start coming down, and that's absolutely fine. Okay? And there is an exercise called the Jefferson curl, where basically you go and reverse that movement. I'm going to get a little too tall for a second. But the Jefferson curl is basically just you doing this rounding and getting deep into the stretch, and then coming back up and slowly trying to undo all of the bending in each of your vertebrae. It basically looks like this. Whee! And then when you can't round anymore, you go down. And once you're down, you try to relax for a second for a little bit to see if you can chill out. And then you come back slowly. Woo! Boom. So if you want to Google that, Google that. A lot of people, especially in the fitness world, will tell you, especially like older people, will tell you that your back is not designed to round and you shouldn't put tension on it. I think newer fitness people tend to be in the boat of you can do a lot of things if you start training for it. So train for it.
and start really gentle, start really easy. Don't add any weight and just do it with body weight and slowly focus on rounding that back and getting as much mobility and flexibility out of your spine as you can. Um, as you get stronger, as you do get better at this, you can start adding some tiny dumbbells, some tiny weights, and you can use your back muscles to pull that out, and you can strengthen your back that way. It's a really good back exercise that helps you get really mobile in your hamstrings, but also helps to make your back a little bit more comfortable. Um, other spine stuff in the thoracic spine. The thoracic spine, that stuff that generally the entire population is going to be really bad at, tends to be the back bending stuff, right? We don't need to get into full bridges to get a lot more mobility. One of the very good basic stretchy looking things, yoga e positions, Pilates e positions, is called the cat cow, and it basically looks like this. You get onto your hands and knees so that your hands are directly under your shoulders, your knees are directly under your hips, and you push that belly button down. You push that chest out and down, and you start looking up so that your whole back is bent a whole bunch. From here, we do the opposite. We stick the earbud falling, earbud falling. Sorry. We stick our mid back up into the air as we can, and we round the back as much as possible, tuck the chin into the chest, and then reverse. And this should be relatively gentle because the weight, the pressure that you put onto the back is only stuff that you can create basically with the weight of your shoulders, right? Or your own muscle contractions. So that is a relatively straightforward way to start getting your back a little bit looser, focusing on each individual joint in your back. And if you start recording and looking at what your body is doing when you're trying to do those moves, you might be able to highlight what needs a little bit more attention or where in the movement you need to focus a little bit more on. What else does the back do? We talked about rotation because that's part of the live. We did the Jefferson curl, we did some cat cow, and we can do some side to side stuff. All right. So it is very easy to mess this up and turn this into rotation. All right. When your body is moving from side to side, you'll feel a stretch up the side of your body. So there's going to be muscles that get stretched, and you're going to feel the muscles getting stretched more than you are going to feel your spine doing stuff necessarily. But all those muscles are there to support your back, so you need it to try this anyway. All right. What I want you to do is stand right up against a wall. So your butt, your shoulders, your head are all touching the wall. And I want you to slowly stick your hands down your leg and just keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. I don't want you to start twisting or rotating, so I want you to try your best to keep your shoulders against the wall almost the whole time. And see how deep you can get. When you work on these quite a bit, you'll feel a whole stretch in the muscles, obviously, in your obliques and your sides, but you're also moving your spine through that range of motion. And hopefully that helps to loosen you up. Other back stuff. If you are interested, you can do a whole bunch of pulling like this. You can do a whole bunch of rowing like this. So pulling or pulling and rowing. And that is typical like bodybuildery, fitnessy stuff for building strength. If that's what you've been asking about this whole time, and I just keep on talking about mobility, I'm sorry. Um, if you need to start somewhere, and in general, I recommend this to everybody, you can hang off a pull-up bar and start working on your grip strength. And you can start working on dropping your shoulders up and down. When you hang off a pull-up bar and you don't have strong enough shoulders, your neck will disappear and you'll look like this. All right. What I want you to do is work on pulling those shoulder blades down like this so that your neck reappears. And that is a strong position for you to start working on pull-ups. If you're going to Google something, the term for this is called active hang or passive hang. The passive hang is when you're just relaxing, your hands are gripping on the bar, and your neck disappears. The active hang is when you pull your shoulder blades down, your neck reappears, and from here you're in a strong position, protecting your shoulders for things that look like pull-ups. If you can't do a pull-up yet, that's a whole another tangent of exercises that we can go into separately. But that is a main category of pulling. The other main category of pulling is rowing. So if you have a rowing machine at your gym or something, boom, rowing. But to do rows, you don't need to have something to pull. You can get into your door frame. You can hold your door. You can walk your hands forward a little bit, and you can pull your body into the door frame. Right? There's lots of different ways to make this motion work for you. And I'm trying to think if there's anything in the house right here for me to use that would make sense and not look ridiculous. Nope, can't think of anything. So what have we covered? We've covered mobility, some thoracic rotation because that's in the live. We've covered the side to side. We've covered the back and forward. We've talked about the Jefferson curl. We've talked about using the neck to hold yourself up, even though that is completely unnecessary for everybody. We talked about neck mobility, what it should be capable of, and back strengthening. There's lots of other things to do to strengthen your back. Your back has a whole bunch of muscles called spinal erectors. Their job is to keep your back stable. And there's lots of things you can do on the floor, so you don't need any equipment, you don't need anything. You can focus on, oh no, what have I done? You can focus on sticking your hips, sticking your belly button down into the ground, and no, don't like my face. Don't like my face. Okay, I'll pet you. You stand over here. I'll pet you. Okay. All right. Let's do it. You can focus on sticking your hips, your belly button into the ground, and contracting the muscles in your low back to help round your back, to help lift your body like this. It's going to be a little bit hard if you hold your breath. It will be easy for like 5 seconds, and then you'll run out of oxygen. It's going to be really hard, and you're going to flop down. But if you get really good at this, you can start breathing really shallow, so like a tiny bit of air in, tiny bit of air out, tiny bit of air in, tiny bit of air out, and that will allow you to work all these muscles in the back, at least in the low back. Then there are slightly different variations where if you're laying down, you do something like this. You extend your arms up overhead, you extend your arms out to the side and keep lifting. You can hold tiny weights to strengthen both the arms and the back as you contract those muscles. I think I have way overdone it with not the most useful explanations. So let me see what's going on. Swigline says, I really value how you explain things. Oh, that's so good because I was thinking, man, I don't know if this is useful at all. I'm just saying things. How you articulate with clarity is both engaging and deeply informative. Oh, that's. I promise everybody else, I did not plant Swigline into the audience to ask these questions or to put me under pressure to answer them. So, thank you for the compliment. I hope you got some value out of those, and at the very least, you got a little bit more insight into what the body should be able to do and what direction you kind of want to move your training in. Because it's really hard to answer, hey, I want to have a stronger neck and to know what that really means, right? Like if you're in a niche sport where you need a lot of neck strength, that's very different. I have some friends who play the clarinet or something, or like play some instrument. Man, this is super old information, so super dated. Now it's going to be weird. 15 years ago, I had a friend who was really good at clarinet, and I think his neck muscles were so thick they were like as wide as his head. And um, one of the ridiculous things we did as teenagers was he was like, "My neck is so strong, you can't choke me." And obviously we tried it, and we nobody had the courage to actually try to choke him. So I don't know if it was real or not. But his neck was so strong and so thick from playing this instrument and like holding so much tension in the neck all the time that his neck was really, 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 really big. That is like a very niche circumstance for needing neck strength. If that's what you're asking about, I got no idea how you train that specific type of neck strength for that use case. Um, but
there are some other things you could be doing for like your neck and your back that are a little goofy looking sometimes because you would never see this in like a bodybuilding like video clip or like on Instagram, I think. But um, you got neck muscles back here, right? So if you want to train that neck muscle, you can literally just flop over the side of a bed, flop over the side of a sofa, and you can work those muscles by lifting your head. If that's not intense enough for you, you can put some weight on your head and you can keep on supporting your head. And it's the same for the other side. If you want to strengthen your neck muscles from the front, if you, oh man, I don't know if this is going to be very comfortable. Ugh. Oh, no, not comfortable. If you want to strengthen these muscles in the front, you can just start by really simply hang out here in this position. If you've ever been to like a hair salon place where they wash your hair afterwards and you're like, I'm not sure how far back my head is supposed to go, and all of a sudden your neck is like really straining as you're like slowly dropping your head into the tub for your hair to be washed. This it's the same thing. We're replicating that set of muscles and uh, uh, you'll get really tired really fast and then boom, you have worked the front of your things. Oh, same thing generally applies to all the other angles, I guess, technically. If you just let your neck flop over to this side and you want to strengthen it, you can do some neck raises. Uh, if you're just doing some very, very, very basic, like rehabby type stuff, that's plenty. I don't think anybody does anything for the neck, for the most part. So you should be, if you're doing steady neck work, you're probably going to be in like the top 90% of the population in like 3 months. So keep that up. Um, Wait, what am I even talking about? Why am I talking about the neck? You were asking about the back. The back is really complicated, but we were talking about the thoracic part of the back specifically. So you're not actually talking about your shoulders and everything going on up top. So I don't have to explain that stuff. And I think in that case, I'm pretty all worded out. So I'm gonna wrap up there. Whew. Let's go. I'm gonna check the chat and see what's going on. Swigline says and hand breath control. Oh, my sister plays the clarinet too. Lowell certainly doesn't need the neck strength, but resilience to blow. I don't know what I'm talking about then. I have no idea. I just remembered he played the clarinet in this one moment in time, many, 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 many moons ago. He was showing off how strong his neck was, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Teenager stuff. Okay. All right. Drew Blank asks, where can I watch these virtual classes? All of these lives are recorded over on YouTube because YouTube is blessed and will just let you host anything you want on the internet. The YouTube account is called @splits on the side, and you can go check it out. It's the same username as on TikTok where you're watching right now, where you ask this question. So feel free to check that out. There's a new video out as well. It is about the elbow lever. I posted it this evening. Is it? Oh my gosh, my sense of time is completely lost. If you want to learn some cool calisthenics moves, I am working on making some kind of short videos breaking down little bits and pieces of cool moves that are very beginner friendly right now. And the one that was just posted is called the elbow lever, and it looks a little bit like this. You kind of just hang out here, wee, and then you can sort of, as you get stronger, as you get more comfortable, you can adjust and do crazy things. But for the most part, it's getting this first phase where your body is more or less a plank and you're balancing on your elbows. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and check out that video. And then if you have questions, because I didn't do a good job of making that video, then you can come back into the live and ask me tomorrow, and I'll answer on the spot with those questions, all right? Or I'll answer those questions on the spot, and hopefully not butcher something because I'm making it up as I go. Swigland says, great, because I got here late. My sister will be joining me. Awesome, amazing. Welcome, sister. Thank you for coming back, Swigline. I appreciate it. And I appreciate that you're engaging the chat, giving me stuff to think about and stuff to react to, because that makes the Q&A stuff at the end a lot more fun. So I appreciate it. Okay. Oh, I'm out of breath. What's going on? And hand breath. Oh, hand and breath control. Oh, we're still talking about clarinet. Man, I should not have read that backwards because that got really confusing. Che asks, or just a second YouTube video for Q&A. Oh. Wait, hold on.
I need to scroll and read stuff because I'm always scrolling down because I'm trying to figure out what happened before, but because I'm scrolling down, I'm just reading comments that come in reverse order. And of course, because I'm reading in reverse order, I'm confusing myself every time. Che says, here, here. Oh, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Um, that is good. Or just a second YouTube video for Q&A. Oh, that'd be interesting to like cut the live and then start another one for just Q&A and then just have like a second video, or you're saying like take that video that YouTube records and then chop it up and save it as a separate thing. And I answer so many random questions. I don't know if we're gonna make those videos useful. I think I think for the most part, they're only gonna be useful for people who come in live, because it's just gonna be really painful to type out or find and identify which questions are asked on every single Q&A at the end. Yeah. Okay. We are 97 minutes into the live, so I'm going to start wrapping up. Swiglass says, I appreciate you. Great teacher instructor. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Um, Drew Blank says, that's awesome. You post your lives on YouTube. So good. Awesome. Wow. The enthusiasm is amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, everybody. Jay says Q&A. Oh, okay. We can just do straight Q&A. We'll skip the live side split component, the consistency stuff. We'll just do straight Q&A. Okay. We can definitely do that. Abby says, you have a YouTube? Yes. Yes. We have a YouTube channel, and it's the same exact username as the TikTok that you're on right now. It is at splits on the side. So splits, not my main thing, but splits on the side. And also they're doing middle splits. They look like side splits. So it's a play on words. That splits on the side. I don't know why I decided to point my hands the opposite direction, saying that this time, is the same username on TikTok and on Instagram. And I don't have any other accounts. So if there's any other ones, tell me because they're fakers and I need to track them down. I don't know. I'm just making this up as I go. Can't imagine enough people know about me to make fake accounts. But splits on the side. Same thing on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. And with that, I'm ready to wrap up. I've been staring at this really bright light for way too long. My eyes are so tired. Whew. Thank you so much for coming in, everybody. Thank you for the wonderful questions in the Q&A. I hope you got a whole bunch of information and value from that, and I hope you enjoyed the live side splits. Hope your hips are moving a little bit smoother and better, at least for a little bit longer before you sit down and they start getting tight again. And I hope you enjoyed it so much that you'll keep coming back because we are live every day at 9 p.m. Eastern. That is 22 hours and 20 minutes from now. We do this live every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern, and we do this every day to practice number one, most important quality, consistency. Right? You can have the best plan ever, but if you can't follow through on the plan, it's not really the best plan. Right? If you have the best plan, you can't do anything on the plan, then you have no plan. And so we build the life, or I built the life to make it relatively simple. There's a lot of stuff if it's your first time joining in because we're doing lots of different movements that work a whole bunch of different muscles. But the idea is the show is pretty consistent. I tell slightly different jokes. I highlight slightly different things in the lives most days, or at least every couple of weeks. I try to change up the focus a little bit to make it a little bit more interesting. But overall, the movements are the exact same. I've been doing the same stretch for 450 plus days. And if you are going to go check out the YouTube and you're going to go check out all the other things, you'll see the slow and steady progress over the course of several months doing the same exact stretch over and over and over and over again. So my message to you guys is consistency works. There's definitely other stretches out there in the world. There's other methodologies of getting two splits faster if you can put in the hard work and you can get the timing right and you can get the recovery right and you can get all these other crazy factors all to line up and really focus on the thing. But if you can't focus on the thing, it's like your side thing splits on the side, then putting in some steady work is going to go a long way. All right. That's the mission. So if you had fun, make sure to hit subscribe, hit follow, keep coming back, and we're going to do more side splits every single day. All right. That is wrapping up. Oh, Eric asked, who inspired you? Um, 15 years of not doing the side splits, even though I tell myself every year I'm going to do the side splits this year. That was a big factor. I took some dance classes in high school and made a lot of friends who could do side splits and front splits and all sorts of things in between where they can like do a side split and then they can just like rotate a hip and all of a sudden it's a front split and they can rotate another hip and then it's another like direction of side split. That was badass. And I was like, I gotta do that. And lo and behold, it's been 15 plus years and I still can't do it. But I'm working on it. And I'm working on it every day. And it took me like 14 years to finally decide I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna start working on it. And I'm gonna make a plan that actually works for me to show up every single day. And whatever happens after that is whatever happens. So the goal and the focus is the process and is no longer. I mean, when I get the size splits, it'll be awesome. But like whatever. Every day I'm putting a little bit of work in. I'm getting a little bit deeper. That's cool. That's fine. That's the vibe I have to things. If you are on the quickest like 3 month mission to get your side splits, maybe this is not the show for you. It could be if you have not figured out how to be consistent yet. You're not sure if this is the thing that you want, and you're like, I need to be consistent first, and then I can commit all my time to doing crazy, perfect, badass workouts. But until you've decided that you're ready for the crazy stuff or you're super committed and you can like follow through on the really crazy stuff, then maybe consistency is the thing that matters more. Cool. All right, that is my that is my ramble for the evening. I think I'm ready to wrap up. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and we'll be back doing more side splits. Eric, thank you. All right, closing out. Oh man, there's 114 people on right now. I'm pretty sure all of you are relatively new because at one point there's like 50 people left after we had done half an hour of Q&A. So if you don't know, we do 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work every single day to practice consistency to build a little community and to make the suffering that we do on the floor a little bit more fun, a little bit less miserable. And hopefully that turns into better mobility, better side splits, doing cool things. And if you like that, hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back because we go live every day at 9 p.m. And then after we go live and we do those stretches, I answer questions, I hang out. Um, and we've been doing that for like 40 minutes. So if you're just hopping in now, that's what you've been watching me hanging out, answering questions. Now, now that 20 other people just disappeared off the live because they're like, oh, I don't want to watch this, we're ready to wrap up. I'm